I started off as a CPA. I went to school, Towson University. Enjoyed that, enjoyed being an accountant. And I think accounting wasn't my first pick. It was probably philosophy. But I don't know how many working philosophers there are. So accounting was good, majored in it, and found my way in an accounting firm and eventually opened up a practice. And from there, I saw that I could not be as creative as I wanted to be. Accounting is a fine profession, but the problem is you can't be an accountant and be super creative. So I migrated into business and started Align Staffing, and later I started Connections Therapy Center. First child. I would say birth of both kids, but first child. And what that did was it made me question all the fears that I had. I was probably like many other people. I limited myself in what I thought I could do. But the question I asked myself was, what fear was so great or greater than my child's future? And so it just made me reassess everything. So that probably was the greatest thing and the most changing moment that I had. One was parachuting. That was pretty exciting. And jetpacking. Jetpacking was pretty exciting. I think with jetpacking I almost drowned, so that was pretty exciting, kind of trying to stay alive, so that was good. But both of them were very exciting. The things I'd like to do, I want to do, visit South Korea. When I was young, I took martial arts, and I took it until probably the age of 22, 23. And my instructor was very involved in my life, and he was from South Korea. And it's a place I just like to visit. Another is, as far as like to do, is probably tango. I do Argentine tango, and there are places I want to go to do Argentine tango. Those are probably the two big things. And maybe a third is my wife and I bike ride and do a 100-mile bike ride. We'd probably like to do that too. I would like to do that. Shift is a great organization in that it does make you think about things other than being transactional. It makes you think about the whole of your existence, of the social part, the giving back. And instead of thinking transactional, what I try to do is look at how the community is affected by what we do. Things like participating in nonprofits, we try to do that. Things like getting the company involved in activities that would help other organizations or other people, we try to do that. Getting other people to think, my peers, other peers around my community, think about things other than transactional. So that is the shift, and specifically is joining groups and just changing minds. That's what that's how we want to shift, instead of just making money. And I think you'll find that when you talk about just making money, it really doesn't motivate anybody. It doesn't capture their attention. It doesn't capture their imagination. But you have to be about something else. My greatest hope is that we would stop demonizing one another if we have differences of opinion. It is hard to hear someone. It is hard to share information with someone if you demonize a person. They have different ways of doing things. Others have different ways of doing things. They have had different experiences. And that all plays into who they are. And the mere fact that they didn't experience the same things you did doesn't mean that they are bad people. We just have differences of opinion. And as long as we don't demonize one another, we may not accept, we may not like, but as long as we don't demonize one another, we can tolerate one another. I'm not asking people to accept what I say, just tolerate one another. In my opinion, there is a mindset up here in Baltimore, which is different from in where I'm from, the DC market, there's more entrepreneurs. And when I say my entrepreneurs, I mean these entrepreneurs are very creative. So they'll look at nothing and they'll create something out of the emotion, out of the core of who they are. And that's what I like. I like to be around people who come up with something out of pure nothing, out of just a desire to make the place a better place. And that's what I get from that. I get rejuvenated as a result of being up here. When I hear the stories, I'm encouraged. I don't get it from any place else. So that's why I schlep all the way up here from the DC market to here and to see good folks. They are not afraid to say they're afraid. And sometimes as an entrepreneur, you want to hear that. You know, you want to hear that you're not the only guy who's afraid, trying to figure things out.